50-year-old with a little debt under $3,000 with bad credit, a full-time job but no savings. Can I even dare to think I can own a home? What do you guys think?
Well, we're going to have Jennifer Dierkhising with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage answer that one.
That's a really good question. I love when people ask about, they're a little bit worried maybe about their situation and unsure about how that will look to a lender or to buy a house. And all of those situations, I would say, absolutely talk to a mortgage consultant, because we would be able to see exactly, okay, $3,000 in debt, not a big deal as long as the payments are made on time. But we can look at the credit history, the credit score, and explain if he or she would be able to qualify for a mortgage today, or what they would be able to do in order to, over the next 30, 60, 90 days, maybe 6 months, 9 months to prepare to buy a house. We also have a really cool My Home Roadmap, which is a program that will give you 2 hours of credit counseling to, again, improve that credit, and then give guidance to how to prepare to be ready to buy a house. So maybe helping that person get a little bit in savings before they buy in their savings account. But we do have, that is what I like that question is, we have a lot of programs that would allow for lesser down payment than maybe people are used to. We don't have to save 20% or even 10% now for a down payment. Of course, we have FHA, which has always been, or is now 3.5% down of the purchase price. But we also have, we've had a 2% down mortgage program for a while, and that's been really popular. That's called the Community Development Mortgage Program, what we call CDMP. So that's a really nice low down payment. We also have a lot of down payment assistance options. And some of those you can get in with as little as $1,000. And this year, some of those guidelines have changed, and some of the income requirements have lessened a little bit. So that would be a really good one to ask your mortgage consultant about.
I think, too, that some people say they have bad credit. They don't really know.
Right.
No idea.
Until it's actually pulled, and sometimes they'll pull it and say, oh, I saw it on the internet somewhere. That's not really your credit report.
They had bad credit 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think now, don't they have, you can have as low as a 600 now, and so, I think a lot of people think I don't have an 800 or I don't have a 750 or higher, so I'm not eligible. The other interesting dynamic of that question is that they told you their age. And I think that's a big misconception.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sold houses to guys that literally at the closing table are joking that they don't even buy, fresh bananas anymore because they don't know how long they're going to live, and they're taking out a mortgage, for an example. Age has nothing to do with it. I mean, that is you have every right in the world, doesn't matter what your age is. So I help people that are over that age all the time out
And
buy
a
houses.
30-year mortgage isn't because we want you to pay 29 and 30 years of mortgage payments, or that's the, it's just that's how we're amortizing it out to make it affordable on a monthly basis. You're going to have equity in the home, and when something happens, they can sell the home.
Well, we use it as a tool. I mean, it's just, they may have assets and other allocations, and that's just, it's smarter for them. Maybe they need the write-off or whatever. They could have it paid in cash, but they choose to finance.
Absolutely.
We see that all the time.
Okay, how about conflicting news about FHA purchases? Some say harder to qualify, some say easier.
That's a great question, too. Guidelines are changing constantly. So every week, every month, we have guidelines changing. They're adding guidelines. They're taking away some maybe oversights or additional overlays, I should say. So I don't think it's necessarily harder, but we're going to be asking more questions, maybe gathering more documents. So again, it's really good to have a mortgage consultant. Wells Fargo has a few different lists and guides to show you, here's the documents that we might need during the process, some questions we may ask. So don't be surprised if there's going to be a lot of questions during the process, but we want to make sure we're being educated.
Well, Jennifer, this is Jeff, and I was wondering about jumbo loans. I'd heard that there's been some changes in that market as well.
Rates are ridiculously low for jumbo, and
Isn't that nuts?
yeah, they've been the lowest. So if you're in the market at all and you think that you want to buy a house or you're going to need to borrow more than $417, you need to look at rates today because they are so much lower than they've ever been.
One of the guys on our team just had a client that actually was right on that bubble, and they actually increased their purchase price $2,000 because the rates were so much better on the jumbos than they were on the 30-year conforming.
Right.
So,
It's been a surprise too. I mean, you're in the industry, and it's been a surprise to people. So it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, for sure.
Are there some things that people looking for jumbo loans should know about that? Any different aspects of that? Or?
You know, same as like Chris asked about FHA. We just want to have we want to be able to give them the documents that they need to make their decision. The uniqueness of non-conforming or jumbo or those larger loans really isn't as much the product as the clients that have that. So you just to have your taxes ready, know your businesses, anything unique that you have going on.
All right.